Welcome to the It Factor. I'm Jemmy.
And I'm Nye.
And today we have a really great deep dive for you. We're exploring a new blog post by Len Kaplan. He's the CEO of CDML, which is this fantastic managed service provider in Queens, New York.
Right. And they offer a ton of essential stuff, things like network management, voice over IP.
Yeah, and cybersecurity, compliance, infrastructure as a service.
Cloud solutions. And, of course, Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. So if you're a small business owner or really anyone managing IT for a growing organization, this is totally for you.
Absolutely. So to pick this off, I want you to picture something. Just imagine a towering, shadowy cyber criminal, right? And this glowing digital virus just looming over a massive city.
Oh, wow. Very cinematic.
Right. But down below in this brightly lit boardroom, you have all these business leaders just scrambling. They're trying to strategize against a threat they can, barely even see, let alone understand.
Yeah, that visual is, it perfectly captures the reality of modern business right now.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Because today, we're unpacking why buying another off-the-shelf security product is, well, it's just not enough anymore.
Not even close.
Exactly. Our source material is that blog post by Len Kaplan, and it's titled, AI is Moving at Machine Speed. Is your cybersecurity governance still moving at human speed?
Which is such a great title, honestly.
It is. And our mission today is to figure out the mechanics of this shift. Why has true defense moved out of the server room and directly into that boardroom?
And why, no matter how small your organization is, you're already in the crosshair.
Right, because things are moving incredibly fast now. The UK AI Security Institute actually released some data recently, and this blew my mind. They said frontier AI cyber capabilities are doubling every 4 months.
Every 4 months. That's just exponential acceleration.
It's terrifying.
It is. Look, attackers have always used, automation or stolen credentials, and there's always been this underground economy of malware as a service.
Sure, the usual stuff.
Exactly. But when you inject artificial intelligence into that pipeline, it fundamentally alters the physics of the battlefield.
How so? What does AI actually change?
It gives them unprecedented speed and precision. Threat actors can instantly find exposed systems. They can analyze, mountains of stolen data in seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, and it accelerates their technical research.
Yeah.
So they're crafting attacks way faster than any human IT team could ever realistically respond to.
Okay, so if traditional hacking was a burglar walking down a hallway, trying keys one by one until a door finally opened.
Right, the old brute force method.
Yeah. Is AI-driven hacking giving that burglar a master key? Or is it more giving them an army of invisible robots to check every single door, window, and basement grate in the city simultaneously?
It is 100% the robot army. That is the perfect analogy.
That is so creepy.
And it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because those robots are constantly communicating. They learn from each other.
Right, really?
Oh, yeah. If one drone in that swarm finds a slightly loose window latch at, say, a specific type of accounting firm, it instantly shares that exact vulnerability with the rest of the swarm.
So they all know the weakness immediately.
Exactly. And they reprioritize their targets based on that new intelligence. These algorithms are scanning millions of networks 24/7, parsing vulnerabilities, matching them to known exploits, all without a human ever pressing a button.
So that brings up the core problem from Len Kaplan's post, right? Organizations are trying to fight this coordinated machine speed threat with human speed reactions.
Yep. They think they could just buy a firewall, plug it in, and assume they're safe.
Which is like putting a single heavy-duty deadbolt on your front door while this automated swarm is actively mapping out the structural weaknesses of your roof.
That's exactly it. Throwing money at a software problem fails when the attack is structural.
So if buying the latest antivirus software isn't going to fix this, who is actually responsible here? Because it sounds like this isn't just an IT department problem anymore.
It is absolutely not just an IT problem. It shifts directly to governance. The UK government recently issued a huge warning to business leaders about this.
What did they say?
They stressed that cybersecurity can no longer be treated as some back-office IT chore. It is a fundamental leadership issue.
So it'd have to come from the top down.
Right. Cyber resilience has to be embedded across the whole architecture, the people, systems, processes, and technology. Leadership has to answer the hard questions now.
Like what kind of questions?
Things like who specifically reviews the risk landscape, who actually has the authority to approve security policies.
Ah, makes sense.
And, when an anomaly is detected, What is the exact chain of command for the incident response?
Okay, I hear you. But, and I know some of our listeners are thinking this right now, what if you run a small organization?
The classic objection.
Right, like say you're a 20-person operation. You don't have a formal board of directors, you don't have a dedicated cyber team. Doesn't being small mean you're just kind of flying under the radar?
I hear that all the time. But security by obscurity is a total myth. It's a dangerous relic from a previous era.
Really? Because you'd think hackers wouldn't care about a tiny budget.
But that's the thing, they don't care about your budget. The economics of automated cybercrime mean they only care about the path of least resistance.
Because the AI is doing all the work.
Exactly. The AI isn't sitting there doing a cost-benefit analysis on your revenue. It just sees an open port or an unpatched server, and it executes the payload.
It's completely indiscriminate.
Totally. And small organizations still hold highly sensitive data. They use interconnected cloud systems. They rely on complex vendor networks. If you check any of those boxes, you are a target.
Because the cost of an attack for the hacker has basically dropped to zero.
Right. They are paying humans an hourly wage to research a local supply company. The machine just executes.
Okay, so since leadership has to set this defensive posture, and since literally every employee is a potential entry point for this swarm, the actual front line of defense isn't the firewall anymore, is it?
Nope. The front line is the person logging into the network every single morning.
The human layer.
The human layer, which AI is fundamentally compromised by weaponizing social engineering.
This is the part that really scares me. How AI is changing phishing attacks.
It's a complete evolution. The AI can just sweep public data, read social media profiles, analyze dumps from previous breaches, and it generates these hyper-personalized, flawless attacks.
Like fake invoices referencing real ongoing projects.
Exactly. Or it synthesizes voice scams that perfectly mimic the cadence of your CEO.
Okay, but wait. For years, we were all taught to look for typos, right? Like bad grammar, weird formatting, or those overly formal greetings. That was our tell to spot a scam.
Oh, the bad spelling red flag is completely dead.
So if AI is writing perfect English, what is our tell now? How do we spot it?
The new indicators are entirely behavioral. Since the grammar is going to be perfect, you have to look at the underlying request.
Like what?
Unexpected urgency is a huge one. If a message demands immediate action to avoid some catastrophic penalty, that's a classic behavioral tell.
Oh, like pay this today or we cancel your account.
Exactly. Another one is sudden out-of-band password prompts. Like
No.
you get asked to authenticate on a screen that looks like a standard Microsoft login, but it popped up outside your normal workflow.
That is so sneaky.
And maybe the most dangerous one, a sudden change to vendor banking details.
Oh, like an email arrives from a vendor you've worked with for 10 years.
Yep.
It has the right purchase order. It sounds just like your normal contact. But buried in the text, it says they've updated their routing number due to an internal audit.
And just like that, the AI diverts the funds. It happens constantly. Those fraudulent Microsoft 365 or DocuSign alerts are virtually indistinguishable from the real thing now.
So employee training can't just be an annual video you watch while eating lunch.
Not anymore. It's a critical business function.
Wow.
And Len Kaplan emphasizes a really important philosophical shift here. Now, the goal of training isn't to make your staff paranoid or afraid. The goal is to build a culture where reporting suspicious activity is completely normal, frictionless, and encouraged.
Because friction is the vulnerability. If an employee gets a weird request from the CEO asking for gift cards and they hesitate to report it because they don't want to look dumb,
Then the attacker wins. You have to empower employees to flag anomalies immediately. Verification is literally our only defense against contextually perfect forgery.
but even if your own team is perfectly trained, you're only as secure as the people you do business with, right?
Oh, absolutely. Which brings us to the domino effect of supply chain risk.
Yes. The UK's Cyber Resilience Pledge talks a lot about this.
Because threat actors are super strategic, they know they might not be able to break into a massive multinational corporation directly.
So they go through the side door.
Right. They target the smaller integrated vendors first. The contractors, the nonprofits, the local schools, places with weaker defenses.
It's kind of like, okay, imagine you install this state-of-the-art biometric security system on your front door.
Okay, I'm with you.
But you leave the little doggy door in the back wide open, and that doggy door happens to lead directly into the central servers of your biggest, most lucrative client.
That is exactly how it works. And let me tell you, that large client is going to realize very quickly that your doggy door is their biggest vulnerability.
Which means cybersecurity readiness is now just a fundamental cost of doing business.
100%. If you provide services to government agencies, healthcare networks, anyone large, they demand proof of safeguards now.
You can't just promise them you're secure.
No way.
Ah.
The market demands documented risk assessments, verified training records, tested incident response plans. Insurance carriers won't even write a policy without this stuff anymore.
Honestly, hearing all these requirements, the risk reviews, the incident response mapping, it sounds incredibly overwhelming. If I'm a listener right now, I might be panicking a little. How do you implement this without shutting down the actual business?
I get that. But the solution to fighting these crazy sci-fi level threats actually lies in some really basic, boring steps.
Boring basics, really.
Yeah, good cyber hygiene. Multi-factor authentication, MFA. Endpoint detection and response, CDR. Keeping software patched and testing backups.
There is a huge irony there, though. We are talking about hyper-advanced, self-improving AI. And the recommended defense is updating our software and turning on MFA. Isn't that a bit anticlimactic?
It sounds anticlimactic, but it's the ultimate defense. Because AI isn't usually creating brand new vulnerabilities out of thin air. It's just exponentially accelerating the old risks.
Like weak passwords and unpatched servers?
Exactly. The AI exploits those gaps at a scale we've never seen. So by setting up strong foundational controls, you create a resilient architecture that actually degrades the AI's effectiveness.
So turning on MFA simply breaks the utility of a stolen password.
Right. And then you add EDR, endpoint detection and response. Traditional antivirus just look for known virus signatures, which fails against AI that generates new malware on the fly.
But EDR looks at behavior, right?
Exactly. If a normal word processor suddenly tries to modify the system registry, EDR flags and isolates it, even if it's never seen that specific malware before.
It shifts from looking for the burglar's face to looking for the behavior of trying to pry open a window.
Precisely. And this extends to identity threat detection and response ITDR, which watches for credential anomalies, and of course testing backups, because a backup you haven't tested
Is just a theory.
Exactly. A theoretical backup doesn't help you during a ransomware attack.
This level of complexity is exactly why having a partner like CDML Computer Services is so crucial. If you don't have a 24/7 internal security team, they bridge that gap.
They really do. They take organizations from feeling panicked and reactive to a state of managed cyber readiness. They handle the zero trust planning, the EDR, the compliance support.
Because cybersecurity doesn't have to be perfect on day one, but it absolutely must be intentional and continuously improved.
Well said.
So, to summarize the journey we've been on today, AI isn't creating risks out of thin air. It's putting old risks on fast forward. Right. And because of that, cybersecurity has officially graduated from a back-office IT chore to an urgent boardroom-level leadership responsibility.
Right.
It's about protecting the whole supply chain.
Which means, if you're listening to this, you need to assess where your organization stands right now. Today. If you haven't reviewed your governance or your incident response plans recently, start now. Do it before a breach forces the conversation for you.
Be proactive. We publish new blog posts every Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to check those out.
Yeah, and you can visit cdml.com to subscribe to the blog. And hey, if you found this deep dive helpful, please click that thumbs up button.
It really helps us out. So, to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over. If an AI can now perfectly mimic your boss's voice on a phone call and write an email in their exact style,
Which it can.
what is the specific secret password or protocol your team will use tomorrow morning to prove they're actually talking to a human?
That is a very good question.
Something to think about. We're Jemmy and Nye. Thanks for listening. Till next time.